Yo, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy Roy, accompanied by the one, the only, the Dominican Badman, Sergio, aka the floor price guy. And we're Combat Sport Guys coming back to you with another UFC full card breakdown, this time in the form of UFC London Evloev taking on Lerone Murphy in a 5 round featherweight bout to determine who is going to challenge Alexander Volkanovski for the UFC title. But before we do that, let's talk about last week real quickly. We had a hiccup, we had a family emergency. Thank you for all those who reached out, who send us their warm regards. Everything's okay now, thankfully. We're back on track. There was no video last week, but we were live for the card. Kevin Vallejos knocked out Josh Emmett. He did what we expected him to do and put him out within the first, I think it was the first round or second round. I can't remember. It was so quick.
First
But
round. I think
yeah,
it was
solid
first. Oh yeah,
card. Uh,
first round.
yeah, solid card overall. I want to ask how are you doing, man? How's everything with you? How was your week?
I'm good, brother. I'm ready. I'm ready. I only got to like catch up. Vallejo's knocking him out. Emmett, that's it, bro. It's time to call it, baby. It's
Well, he
time.
he's Emmett said he signed a new contract, which is interesting, right? So they're probably gonna feed him to a lot of these newcomers, bro. He's a name. He's a couple fight nights, couple of co-main. No, I don't want to say co-main, but yeah, a couple of fight night co-mains,
A
fight night
couple
main
of
card.
talent builders. Yeah, they're gonna try to build,
Yeah,
and that's the thing about it. Like it's just the speed that, and like we talked about it. Like that guy moves like Taporia has the same build, same boxing.
Vallejos, you're talking about, yeah,
Yeah,
Vallejos.
yeah. It's just gonna be interesting when he gets a guy that grapples with him, right?
Yeah, who really pushes him, who really can, and a guy who throws leg kicks, right? A guy who throws calf kicks, kind of, because boxers, that's how you really disrupt the boxer, right? You attack that lead leg, you force him to stand switch, you prevent their forward movement, and Kevin Vallejos really thrives when he's stalking you and getting into the pocket, right? But interesting fight. We'll go down to this fight because this fight card has a lot of on the line, right, in the featherweight division. So
Yes,
we'll
sir.
start with some women going after it. We have some bantamweights. We have your favorite fighter, Melissa Mullins, taking on Luana Carolina. Melissa Mullins last time out lost to Daria Zelenzakova via unanimous decision, whereas Carolina last time out lost to Michelle Montague via unanimous decision. If you remember that fight against Montague, it was Montague's debut. Montague has horrendous striking, but what she does have is good ground control, good grappling, good top control. And that's what we saw, right? But one thing we did criticize about Michelle Montague is her footwork, right? Is her ability to get hit. But she did have nice takedown entries. She did to get it done on the scorecards. Mullins, when you look at her, she's a striker who likes to throw with accuracy. She doesn't necessarily have the best striking defense. She can fight in the clinch, secure takedowns, and utilize her jiu-jitsu if needed. Uh, Daria, in her last fight, was lighting her up on the feet. She was outstriking her. And I think that's why she's the underdog in this fight. A lot of people are banking on Luana Carolina's Muay Thai background and her kickboxing to light her up on the feet, right? To get it within that range. She's tall, she's rangy, she could fight at range, she could fight in the clinch. She doesn't, however, excel on the ground, uh, but she does have the what was I going to say? She doesn't excel so much on the ground, but she lacks the offensive grappling, right? So she's mainly wants to keep the fight standing, and I think that's where Melissa Mullins can have the advantage if she secures those takedowns early, right? But if Luana Carolina puts the brakes on her, pushes the pace, lights her up on the feet, does enough to keep the fight standing, she can get it done. But I think the grappling should be good here for Melissa. I don't think she's gonna want to get hit as much as she did last time out. So I'm gonna pick the dog here, man. Crazy, huh? Picking the dog to start off.
It's even, dog. To me, those odds minus 120, minus plus 100 are even. I
Yeah.
mean, man, there's. I mean, look, what are we looking at? We're looking at that. Um, Joanne Wood. Wow, that Joanne Wood is. It's oh, what was the Scotland girl's name? I forgot her last name because she married the guy from Extreme Couture. But going into this fight, I mean, I like Luana a little bit more than Melissa. Like I've never really been a fan of Melissa. I think
Yeah, I
Melissa.
think it's a coin flip, right? If you like the striking, if you like the range, the Muay Thai, Luana's your girl. But I just think she can get controlled and taken down easily.
I mean, yes, but is she able to sustain that for 2 rounds, for example? Or I think she flips the first round if she lands the takedown, gets aggressive, but then comes in that second round and is a little bit lackluster, right?
Yeah, but you got to remember too, they're in London. So if it
Got it.
goes to the scorecards, right?
Yes, I forgot this was my boy Murphy's coming out party.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna go with Luana Carolina. Like I'm gonna flip the odds here. I think I'd be interesting to find out to check the odds. Like I said, this is a coin flip. Like I'm not really gonna bet on this fight. I'm not gonna put it on parlay. Let's see if Melissa Mullins gets inspired by the home crowd, right? That's because like she hasn't really shown anything. Now, out of the both of them, she's fought the tougher opposition. Nora Cornell, right? Fought Jocelyn and Edwards, and she was having a good round against Jocelyn Edwards until, and I understand it's been 2 years, but then like Daria's no joke, man. So let's see.
Right on. We're both on opposing ends to kick off the card. We'll move on to another women's fight. A debuting Chanel Dyer coming off of the Contender Series, where she lost to Carol Foro via unanimous decision. It was a back and forth war. She did get dropped. She did show us how durable she is. She is an aggressive striker. She mixes in her combinations well, utilizing her leg kicks and fighting off the jab. She can mix in the grappling, use that jiu-jitsu. As I mentioned, she was dropped. She did show how durable she is and um, how much of a dog she is, right? She's going up against Ravina Oliveira. Oliveira's coming off of that submission loss to Stephanie Luciano. Last time out, she was coming off of a 2-year layoff, right? I think she was coming off of a 2-year layoff, and then she came in. I think she moved the weight classes. I want to say she dropped down in weight, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, she went from bantamweight to strawweight. So she had a 2-year layoff. She came in, fought a smaller fighter, right, in a new division, got submitted. So now she's got the octagon rust out of the way. She's ready to go. She's a Muay Thai striker. She likes to come forward, close the distance, looks to get in the clinch and drag you down to the ground. This is a good fight. I think this is an interesting fight. I don't think Ravina is all that good, right? She's kind of inconsistent in her fight consistency. She doesn't fight as often as she needs to. She can turn it on. She can challenge Chanel, but I think Chanel's striking is a bit more technical and she has more power behind her shots. And she's going to be the more aggressive of the two and the one pushing the pace. So I'm going to go with Dyer to get it done. But a minus 250, I'm looking at 350 is crazy for a debuting woman,
Yeah.
right? I'm not going to lay any chalk on this or bet on this, but I think Dyer can get it done.
And like you look at basically she fought 6 months ago in the Contender Series. Do you remember that fight? If you didn't check out film, probably not, right? Um, I mean, look, they probably brought her in and said, "Look, we need some UK talent. Let's call that girl again the fall against Carol, but in a minus 350." Like the only issue with this girl is like she hasn't really proven herself. Um, yeah, man. I mean, look, this is a toss up. This should be even odds. Like I might be wrong, but I'm going with Dyer, but I'm staying away from minus 350, man. I mean,
Yeah,
look, yeah,
same.
just maybe live betting on the first round to see, but it's you don't know. Like with Ravina, like it's actually
Yeah.
interesting. But uh, like the opponent Stephanie Luciano, I mean, I mean, she's been on a tear. Justified the rear naked choke. I mean, this Boa too. I mean, let's see. I do have Dyer though. Let's see what ends up happening
Right
in the
on.
England home advantage.
Right on. We're both going with Chanel Dyer to get it done. Next up, we have a men's bout. We have Shakimi Rock taking on Abdul Karim Al Sawadi. If you remember, Al Sawadi last time I was supposed to fight Matheus Camilo, but then that fight got squashed. I think I was on the side of Camilo on that fight. But prior to that, he fought a year ago against Loic Radzabov, and he got KO'd, via ground and pound. You got that right hook followed by the ground and pound. He got KO'd, put out cold. Shamrock last time out had his UFC debut. He lost, and this guy was given a tall task, right? They gave him Narulo Aliev, right? And his UFC debut, an individual who can grapple. He's really good. He's primarily known for his grappling prowess, right? And he was able to secure takedowns there. He didn't look good on the feet. And a lot of people are probably discrediting. That's why he's probably the dog here, right? They're probably thinking that Abdul Al Karim Al Sawadi is going to come forward, probably put a beating on him, but I don't think
Yeah,
that's the case. I think what I saw in Shamrock's debut is going to work well for him here, right? He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He looks to bring you down to the ground and chase submissions. His takedowns are okay. They're not too. His takedown entries aren't the best, but a lot of people are going to talk about how he trains with Paddy Pimblett, so his ground game is up there. He has 9 submission wins, and like I said, he was able to take down Nurul Ali, who's a really good grappler, right? Also, Wadi is coming back after hiatus of 1 year. He's had a bunch of fights canceled, so I don't know what's going on with him in terms of his injuries or personnel wise. He's a forward pressure striker. He likes to utilize his range and close the distance. He can level change if he's not finding success and secure takedowns. He was winning his debut prior to getting KO'd, right? And I think Abdul Al Sawadi's aggression is going to work against him here, right? Because if you have someone who comes forward, who likes to throw wildly, it's easy for someone to level change and get in on the hips, right, or get in that single leg and take you down. So I think Shamrock being at home, having his debut out of the way, learning from that Aliyah fight, I think is going to be look good here. So I'm gonna go with Shamrock, and they have him as a dog too. So I don't know if the odds have changed, but I like him as a dog here.
Yeah, and Rulo Aliyev, I mean, up and coming cat. He's done pretty good. I'm looking at because I almost confused his name, but I remember this fight pretty good. Yeah, I mean, look, Shem has a shot. Let's end up seeing how he does with the grappling department. See if we could kind of take him down. You got the home field advantage against the Palestinian. I mean, he's going to drop a. If he wins, he's going to drop a post a post speech about what's going on over there, and they're in between Iran and all that different stuff. Um, I know it's so out of left field, right? But that's the thing we're getting now with like that level of popularity of UFC fighters from a country. Yeah, that being said, I mean, look, let's see what if Sham has enough to kind of take him down, hold him down. Standing up with this guy, like you said, he is aggressive at times. I'm expecting if Sham also fights behind his jab, like let's see the guy comes in for a takedown, arm extension, pull him back. You have some level of advantage. I don't think Shem should seek the takedowns, champ. When you have this reach, you're not really going for the takedown unless you're close. So I would be very interested to see how he manages the distance, keeps him at bay. Maybe if Abdul gets too close, like you said, then he initiates the takedown.
Yep, I agree. Are you
I
going with
just
Shamrock?
I just don't. Yeah, I want to Rock. I just don't want Rock to look like Patty Pimblett against Justin Gaethje. I just want to make sure that the boys, when you're so tall and you're shooting on a guy smaller than you, no bueno.
Exactly. Next up, we have some big boys getting after. We have your boy Louis Sutherland taking on Brando Pericic. Sutherland and Pericic both had their UFC debut last time out, and it went differently for each of them. Sutherland, unfortunately, last lost to Walter Walker via heel hook submission in his debut, whereas Pericic beat Alicia Ellison via KO. You remember this? You remember Alicia Ellison, the cop who came out who was talking about? Remember in the promo they put the promo the cop and he's like, yeah, man, I wanted to kill myself. I wanted like, oh, he was battling suicidal thoughts. Like, I have this fear, I have fear going in the octagon, and they put that before the fight, right? And I'm like, why would you put that? This guy is scared to fight. This guy had suicidal thoughts before going in, and then having him get KO'd, right? Like, it wasn't even like an uplifting one. Like, he overcame it.
Yeah.
He found it through fighting. It was weird. But anyways, Pericic, city kickboxing. He's light on his feet. He's large.
Yep.
He's athletic. He has kickboxing. He has a striking. His striking is crisp and technical, and he can grapple if he needs to. He has a nice jab. He's fast. He's fast for a heavyweight, man. And that's one thing that I kind of like to harp on with him. His jab is really nice. He fights well in the clinch. If you watch his tape, he does really nice inside trip, which led. Like, if you watch his fight against who is it against? Um, Kelvin Fidio. If you watch that fight, right, he did a really nice inside trip, which led to the rear naked choke. So he's pretty savvy on the feet, leading to the ground and then chasing submissions. He's going up against Sutherland, who has used steroids, right? This guy's a former steroid user. Look at him. Look at those traps, bro.
He does.
Jesus, man.
Because when you saw that picture initially in the UFC,
Yeah,
and
look how flabby he looked in the UFC. He looked bad. But while you pull that up, I'll talk about him. He utilizes his range management well enough, setting up his power shots with his jab and calf kicks. His defensive striking isn't the best. He doesn't wrestle normally, but can if he need to. I think Brando's going to be too fast for him. He's going to light him up on the feet. He's probably going to come forward. This fight's not going to go the distance. I'm going to go Brando Pericic to put out Louis Sutherland on the feet. So I like Pericic.
You know what they say, bro? The traps don't lie, baby. Them traps,
And traps are big, man.
them like, bro. It's just crazy how this man looks. He's always been like Biggie Boy though. That's the other thing too.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to hate on this, but I do think that the other guy, like Lou's gonna try to grapple, if anything, right? This guy's Brandon's gonna try to kind of take it on top. So I mean, look, I'm gonna go with Brando. He's gonna distribute that jab like no other. Move in, out, maybe go for a knockdown. I'd be very interesting to see if Louis can kind of take him down. See how that happens, right? Because Louis is not a very athletic heavyweight. So if he was athletic, I'd be like, okay, guy has a round, but he's a little big, like slow. So we'll see. I mean, shout out to Walter. Walter got it done in what, like in a couple seconds too. It didn't really last that much. Let me see. Yeah, 1 minute and 24. He immediately went for the takedown. Now, like that, Walter now is a top 15 legit guy. So it's a little bit different. But I'm going with Brandon. I think Perry gets it done. You want to make a lasting impression, knock him out. So I think with him, search for the KO prop.
Right on. Pericic. And it is important to note that Pericic doesn't have many fights on his record. He's still very raw, right? Whereas Sutherland has fought much more frequently than him, right? 10-4 versus 5-1. So something to note.
Yeah.
Next up, we have your boy Antonio Tricoli taking on Mantas Kondrativikis.
Holy shit.
We're gonna call him Mantas, bro, because that name is Kondravicius.
We ain't doing all that,
Wait, hold on. Kondradrivicius. Yeah, we're gonna call him Mantas, bro.
Listen, brother,
Mantas taking on Tricoli.
We don't got time for this.
Tricoli, he got a call, bro. He got the Cody Brundage treatment. They hit him up. They said, "Listen, brother, we need you."
The Nico Price, no, he got the Nico. We
got the Nico Price call. They said, "Listen, brother, we need some highlights for this card. What do you say? What do you say? We'll give you 50 G's or whatever it is." All right, sounds good. But Tricoli, if you don't know who he is a long, tall, rangy guy who looks to slowly creep in, get in the pocket, and then look to secure takedowns. He can strike and wrestle. He really isn't all that good. Look at his record here. He lost to Shara Magomedov via KO TKO. A lot of people give him props for that because he took that fight on short notice and he looked good up until getting KO'd. Then after that, he got submitted by Trishan Gore. Trishan Gore was no longer in the UFC. And then he lost to submission via Mansour Abdul Malik, who is an up-and-coming contender, right? He's fighting against Mantas, who's a kickboxer who fights well off of his jab. He can move in and out of the pocket, doesn't grapple as much, hasn't really been tested in the grappling realm, but until now, it has held up. It has served him well in his 8-1 UFC career. He is making his UFC debut. He's coming off of that KO win to Danny Barber. Yeah, I think Mantas is going to be too aggressive. He's going to push the pace. He's going to be able to do well enough to not have Tricoli take him to the ground, right? He's going to hit him with power. He's probably going to put him out here. So I'm going to go with Manta to get it done. But at minus 575 favored, I think it's justified. Mantas isn't that good. I mean, Tricoli isn't that good.
Well, I think Tricoli got the shot because of her former girlfriend, right? Which is Ms. Dern. Ms. Dern. All the boys love Ms. Dern, but yeah, Tricoli hasn't really shown me anything to say like he's good. Like, look, the reality he hasn't won a fight. Like, damn, that's murder with Shara Magomedov. The Gore fight, like even like this fight against Mazur, like bro, 2 standing guillotines back to back, and like you got reach, bro. What's going on? Because that's not even calculating leg reach. If we end up going and basically saying UFC event, Masvar versus Murphy, I'm pretty. I pronounced Murphy wrong. Apologies. I'm pretty positive that Guy even has like a length advantage. Let me see. I want to see the leg advantage. Oh shit, not bad actually. Yeah. Anyways, I retract that. But yeah, I mean, if I'm Montes, I'm looking to kind of high kicks, get in the inside, try to kind of like break this guy, like and Tricoli, bro. I think. What do you think? One more shot in the UFC?
Probably.
He has
Probably no. I'll
faced
probably get cut after this. Probably get cut after this.
he has faced top.
UFC is so weird in who they decide to cut and who not, man. Like, you also gotta look
Is
at their
it gonna
contract.
cut
We don't
Chito
know,
Rivera, bro?
but we don't know a lot of their contracts, right? Like, if you're paying a guy X amount, like they could probably afford to keep someone like Tricoli who they're not paying as much, right? And just have them be, testers for prospects coming in, and then they cut somebody like, what's the heavyweight guy that got cut?
Well,
Lucas, what's his name?
the
Yalton,
heavyweight.
Yalton Almeida. He probably gets paid a little bit more. So they're like, this
Hey,
guy's a little
but
too expensive. We got to cut him, bro.
Johnson. The thing is, Johnson.
What?
I don't know, bro. I thought you were gonna say about the guy that beat Almeida. Remember the guy that beat Almeida, and he got cut from the UFC from a win, and they didn't cut Almeida.
I don't remember that.
This was
Almeida.
a couple of fights ago. But anyways, going back to Tricoli, yeah, I mean that works. Like, just keep him there for highlights at this point. Just make him a highlight. Um, Interesting. No contest, eh? I'm gonna go with yeah. I just don't believe in Tricoli. I'm just
Right
gonna
on.
go.
We're both going with Montas to get it done in his debut. We'll move on here to a heavyweight bout. Mario Pinto taking on Felipe Franco. Mario Pinto has not done me dirty yet in two of his fights, right? Since his Dana White Contender Series win over Lucas Camacho, he came out and beat Austin Lane via KO TKO. He did what you're supposed to do to Austin Lane when they give him to you, put him out. And then against Janata Denise, right? I
He
actually
was
picked
winning that
against him. I
fight,
don't
dog.
know.
He was
I
winning
think
that fight, eh?
I picked him. I think I picked Janata to knock him out. Right? I was like, this is gonna be a striking fight, and he surprised. This is where I turned the point on Mario Pinto because I picked against him. I thought Janata Deniz was a better kickboxer. He was more polished. He was more poised. He had the more experience. I did not expect Mario Pinto to come out there and turn into Chimaev. Right? Mario a la Chimaev. He just took him down,
Guess who
grappled him.
had him though? This
Huh?
guy. This
Yeah, but
guy.
what happened prior? What happened prior to that?
Listen, Lane was winning that
We'll
fight.
move. We'll move on. Pinto is undefeated. He's Portuguese. He trains out of England, right? He has nice, crisp technical striking. He has heavy hands. Uh, his grappling, right? It was a question mark up until that Jonathan Denise fight, but Jonathan Denise does have poor takedown defense, right? So
Yeah.
we can't rate his grappling too high because Jonathan Denise is easy to take down, but his grappling is there. He showcased that he could do it, secures the control time. Franco is making their UFC debut, right? He's coming off of that uh, submission win over Douglas Felipe Santo on the. It wasn't on the Dana White Contender Series. It was in what promotion was that? Mahmoud Fight Championship. So he's
Where's the
not coming
loss
out.
against? Oh shit! It's just he's been yeah, he's been active.
Yeah, he's been in the Dana White Contender Series before. He lost to Freddie Vidal via submission, and then he fought on he's been on the independent circuit, and then he got called here. There's a reason why he got called here, right? He's gonna lose, bro. To Mario Pinto, right? He's making his UFC debut. He's a grappler first, not the most technical striker. He blitzes in with his striking to set up his takedowns. He has solid control once on the ground. I think Pinto is the more well-rounded of the two. He needs to remain defensively sound, right? And then kind of get his reads in early. If Franco blitzes in, he's going to try to get in on the hips. He's going to try to take you down and try to control you. And I think we're going to learn a lot about Mario Pinto's takedown defense here, right? Like last time out, we saw his takedown offense. We're going to see his takedown defense here. If he's able to prevent Franco from moving forward, blitzing in and securing those takedowns, keeping the fight on the feet, he's going to be able to light him up and find that shot. So I'm going to go with Mario Pinto here. I think he's the more rounded of the two, and he should get it done. He uses his striking a lot better, whereas Franco uses it to just set up the takedown, right? Just to blitz in and set
No,
up the takedown. So
this guy is a copy and paste of Almeida. This is Almeida's
yeah,
teammate, Nagao. I mean, look, he had very good success against Vidal, but we saw what
yeah,
happened with Vidal when he faced like another guy. He got slept. And that's the
Yeah.
thing. Franco was winning that first, second round until he gasses out. So the question is, even if he comes, retaliates, and tries to take him down, what's the prop? Like, are we going for the submission? And then, because that's the thing about it. Like, I think that this guy like screams um light heavyweight. I think he took this fight knowing like there's a big possibility he's losing. But
Yeah.
if you allow me the chance, I will drop to light heavyweight. I think he has better of a chance there. I mean, Mario Pinto has looked nothing but sensational in his UFC. The only thing that I'm kind of curious on and interested is maybe this fight goes the first round, the Austin Lane approach, where Felipe could take him down, hold him down. It all depends on this man's grappling, right? We're gonna see the evolution of it because Felipe Franco will shoot within 1 minute, 2 minutes, he's gonna shoot.
I agree.
Yeah, set him up, but hey, like you know what, you got good reach, you're taller. Let's see those knees. But the thing is, you give a knee, the knee doesn't land, you can go for those hips, take him down. But the question is, I think Felipe Franco, he's dealing with a heavier guy. Look at the weight, man. Like, what does Felipe Franco come up to? Like 210, 215?
Yeah, he's gonna be. It's gonna. This fight's designed for Pinto, bro. I
Yeah,
mean, if
it's
Pinto
designed.
loses, I'll be surprised. If he loses, I'll be surprised.
But maybe he has one shot of taking him down the first round, and maybe I don't know. I just if I'm Pinto, just make sure that your defense is on point. But in the second round, Pinto's taking over. Or you can take over in the first. So I'm gonna go with Pinto. I think it's justified. I think for prop betting, I would look at the KO prop.
Are you
Pinto.
pulling it up?
I mean,
Oh, I thought you were typing. You were typing, so I thought you were gonna pull up the
no,
prop.
no, no. I just put the KO prop. I think the KO prop is like probably maybe minus 150. That has a good chance. But I'm going with Pinto. Here's no
Right
brainer,
on.
Felipe Franco.
We're both going with Pinto here. We'll move on to a UFC debutant. Right, he was supposed to make his debut last time out against Pitbull, but he couldn't make the weight. Right, against Patricio Pitbull, he couldn't make the weight. And Pitbull said, "You know what? I'm not fighting you, brother. You had one job. You got to make weight, brother. I'm not gonna let you come in heavier. We're not gonna fight no catch weight." He's now fighting against Nathaniel Wood, Losene Keita. It's interesting because Losene Keita's fighting at 145, right? I think that Pitbull fight was supposed to be at 155,
145.
145, 145. Oh no, I'm tripping. 145, right? And I'm surprised that they're making him fight at this weight class when he can't make the weight, right? Like they should have just asked him like, hey, you 155 better for your debut. So it's gonna be interesting to see if he makes the weight. But Losene Keita is a highly touted prospect, right? A lot of people look at him. They know him for his Muay Thai style, his nice technical striking, his power. He's fast, precise. He has pop. He's a good counter striker. He hasn't really been tested against elite level grapplers, so we don't know how well his takedown defense actually is. He has had, like, if you watch his film on the regional circuit, he does sprawl, but those are against people who are really tired and desperately shooting to take him down, right? Because they've already tasted his power and their takedowns aren't the best, and he sprawls well, but we haven't seen him really struggle. He does tire as the fight gets going, right? Because of that power, that strength he has. He's going up against Woods, who last time out lost to Jose Delgado via unanimous decision. But in that fight, he was dropped. He has been dropped.
Who
Uh,
lost?
I said he won.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay.
I said Jose Delgado won, but he was dropped in that fight. He was dropped in the first round and he
Yes.
recovered well. And that's one thing that a lot of people talk about when it comes to Nathaniel Woods is his recoverability, right? The way he recovers, the way he bounces back, the way his savvy and his veteran is, right? So this fight can go one of two ways, right? You have Woods, who's a well-rounded fighter. He has a strong base. He has kickboxing. He has grappling. His striking is technical. It's precise. He blends a powerful low kicks and then mixes in his boxing combinations really well in the clinch. And he's decent on the ground. So you could see this fight going one of two ways, right? Keita comes out, he starches him, he drops him, and then he goes for the finish, right? Because we have seen, it's not out of the realm of possibilities, right? We have seen Nathaniel Wood be dropped, right? But it could also go to where Nathaniel Woods surpasses the initial storm, right? He weathers that storm.
First
He
round.
gets the leg kicks going. He limits his movement with those calf kicks, right? He limits his movement with those calf kicks. He starts fighting at range, right? He starts throwing kicks to the body, starts fighting at range, and then he secures those takedowns, right? He really puts a beating on him. So I like Nathaniel Wood here as a dog. I do understand people looking at Keita and seeing his knockout power and thinking, okay, he's probably going to put out Woods, but Woods has been in there with, man, a lot of these prospects that are supposed to be beating him, right? Like Morgan Shireri, Jose Delgado, Daniel Pineda. I mean, Muhammad Naimov he lost to, Andre Philly he beat. So he's fought the way better competition, right? So I'm gonna go with Woods here. I like him as a dog. I think he's gonna have. I think the difference in this fight's gonna be the calf kicks and his ability to take Keita down, right? And this could be a good live bet too, right? If you see Keita's landing at will, right, and he's beating him on the feet, and then he's sprawling and defending Woods' takedowns, then you might want to put your money on Keita, right? Because okay, as it gets longer, the fight progresses, Keita's going to be able to find that shot. He's going to be more comfortable on the feet. But if Woods is shooting and taking him down, and then Keita's not really able to get going because he's going to be worried about defending the takedown, it's going to be a long night for Keita, and then Woods is going to win on the scorecard. So I'm gonna go with Nathaniel Woods. I like his veteran savvy. He has the more tools to get it done here.
I'm just curious to see if there was outside. Did he keep the same camp? Did he, there's all these kind of factors. I'm going with Wood. I like Wood. Wood has only gotten better with time. At a plus 155, it's a good prop. Like, but you could what could we expect? I mean, the common opponent is of Nathaniel Wood. You look at Andre Philly, and you look at what's this other guy's name? We were just talking about him right now, Jose Delgado, and yeah, I mean, is the double champ better than Wood? I mean, fuck. What's the reach advantage over here we're looking at? Okay, he's gonna have the reach advantage. But brother, like, what is he doing differently in the Pitbull fight that
Well, I think
because
the Pitbull fight was going to be more difficult. I think the Pitbull fight was going to be more difficult because Pitbull was going to come and wrestle, right? Because we were going to see the Pitbull that fought Dan Ige. So I think Pitbull was really going to test his grappling because I don't think Pitbull was going to stand there and exchange with him. Whereas I think Woods is probably going to be comfortable with exchanging with him, knowing he can get dropped, right? But knowing that he can recover really well, he's going to be more comfortable on the feet against him. I feel exchanging with him
yeah,
and
or mix
mixing
it
in the
up,
grappling.
or mix it up. I think
Yeah, I think he's going to
out
mix
of
it up.
out of the better, Nathaniel Wood has a better mix-up game, and he's able to, like,
Yeah.
he has a chin. He has to just make sure that the only thing that I forget, that double champ in the octagon status, is that a 155er? I would assume so.
Think so. That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised he's fighting at 145. I think it's at 155.
These
I'm not
guys,
sure.
because all these guys want a power advantage. That's the issue. Like,
Yeah.
Kita is a weight bully.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's why he fights at 145.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
He's not
also
that.
the reality, a lot of fighters that come to the UFC that are in higher weight classes, they drop down eventually because it's a whole different level of competition here. I'm still gonna go with Wood. Like I said, I might bet after the second round, after I see Wood, you know, maybe get Wood at a higher odd. But knowing this guy only had 9 months to deal with his weight issue, let's see. I mean, what do you think? He dieted, or did he do an actual lifestyle change? Did he lose muscle? There's all these factors, right?
Yeah.
But like, the smart thing would have been like, I got 6 months. Let me try and drop realistically two pounds every month for the next couple of months. That way, you come in lighter. But I don't think he did that. So by default, I will be going with Nathaniel Wood. I like him too
Right
much.
on. We're both going with Nathaniel Wood. We'll move on here to our next bout. We have a lightweight bout. Mason Jones taking on Axel Sola. If you remember Axel Sola, he made his debut last time out where he beat Reese McKee up in weight. He normally fights at 155, but he took that fight at 170. He beat Reese McKee up in weight via KO on short notice.
Fuck.
It was kind of an early stoppage, I think, in my opinion, but he still beat him. I wasn't too impressed with his striking. He's more so of a grappler. But when you look at Sola, he has that karate and Muay Thai background. He has talked about how he wants to improve on his boxing to help with his combinations and set up his power shots. He's a grappler. His grappling is functional. He has the ability to chase submissions and work once on the ground and scramble and secure dominant positions. And he has, however, fought smaller guys, right? And now he's taking on a Mason Jones, who last time went against Balagioki and beat him via KO last time out. But Balagioki, man, starting to lose faith in Balagioki, my boy. He got knocked out, man, the third round. Did you see how he got knocked out?
I haven't seen that fight.
He held on to the glove and then just fucking walked him down and just hit him with that left. So it's one of those things, man. But anyways,
Yeah.
Mason Jones. What can we expect from Mason Jones? He has nice boxing. He has good takedowns, good takedown defense. When he beat, this guy prior to the Balagioki fight, he went against Jeremy Stevens, who hasn't fought like in 6 years, and it was kind of like back and forth, right? It was kind of scary to watch that fight, man. You kind of look at Mason Jones and be like, damn, man.
What we
you
doing,
supposed
bro?
to,
Why are we not grappling,
you're
dog?
supposed to destroy this guy. What are we doing? He's tough. He has solid takedowns. Um, Yeah, I think here he's going to be the tougher of the two, right? He's going to have that forward pressure, that grappling. His boxing is better than Axel Solo. The one thing about Axel Solo that I will say is that he kind of loads up on that left, right, and he kind of counter strikes pretty well. But I think Mason Jones could be okay here. He's probably going to look for takedowns. I'm going to go with Mason Jones. I didn't really like Axel Solo, what I saw from him, but it was up in weight, so he could look different at 155, right? Could look different.
Yeah, no. And like, look, I think Mason has the. You know what's interesting? You look at Mason Jones and you look at the odds and a minus 135. Like, I think this is the biggest. Like, this is the lock. This like Mason Jones's look is fucking phenomenal. Um, and I mean, look, Axel. I think Axel Sola is a little bit green. What do you think? You think he's not green?
A little bit.
I think, like, and Rice McGee is a dog. Rice McGee uses Muay Thai. Axel kept him at bay with the kick. There was a couple of nut kicks, if I remember correctly. Um, yeah, but if I'm Mason Jones, I'm mixing it up. I could strike. I could also take you down. I think the takedown and the pressure is what makes this kid very differently. Again, his second stint in the UFC. He's coming back. I think this is a great money. I'm betting a money line on this fight on Mason Jones. I think it's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
We're both going on Mason Jones here to get it done against Axel Sola. We'll move on to the main card. I think this is this the main card? Yeah, this is the main card.
Yes,
So
sir.
kicking off the main card, we have Curtis Campbell making his UFC debut, the Pink Panther. Did you see that they gave him pink shorts, bro, on his debut?
Ooh.
This guy, Curtis Campbell, they gave him pink shorts on his debut. Curtis Campbell is making their debut after getting a KO win over Demba Sek on the Dana White Contender Series. He's going up against Danny Silva, El Puma. We have the Pink Panther taking on El Puma. What do you think, bro? We got two cats going at it, bro. We
the, the one guy to survive Vallejos' onslaught, eh?
Silvio lost to Kevin Vallejos via unanimous decision last time out. And what's interesting about that fight is that Silva took a lot of Vallejos' best shots, and he had Vallejos grapple, right? And he wasn't expecting Vallejos to grapple, right? And he looked good. His get-up game was good in that fight. Silva is fast. He's an aggressive boxer with high volume and knockout power who likes to move forward. He's wrestling is okay. He mixes it up though. He's never been finished. He's extremely durable. He has good takedown defense, not as much offensively, right? He throws with volume and receives just as much as he throws. He needs to get better at protecting himself. That's his issue, right? He doesn't really have the striking defense for as fast as he is, for how much he throws. He receives a bunch. He's going up against Curtis Campbell, who's 8-0. He's a grappler, a wrestler with solid BJJ who looks for the takedown, and once on the ground, he gets to work. His striking isn't the best. It's not the most technical. And I think he can get easily outstruck if the takedowns aren't going for him, right? So I think Danny Silva obviously has the advantage on the feet, right? A lot of people I think are going to chase the Campbell submission prop, the Campbell inside the distance, but Danny Silva's a tough guy to finish, right? So it's either Curtis Campbell does secure some takedowns, right? Danny Silva gets up, he keeps pursuing the takedowns, he keeps taking them, and he wins on the scorecards. Or Danny Silva does enough to keep the fight standing, beats him up on the feet, right? Forces him to quit, right? Maybe it's a little too much, that onslaught, that speed is something he hasn't experienced yet. I'm gonna go with Danny Silva, man. I
Really?
think Danny Silva for going up against Kevin Vallejos, right? And then having Kevin Vallejos wrestle when he wasn't expecting him to wrestle and do well enough to keep it back up on the feet, right? And still lose that fight. He didn't look good in that fight, right? But he still lost it. But that tells me that when you have someone like Kevin Vallejos where you're expecting them to strike and then they grapple and look good in that regard, going up against a grappler, he knows this guy's gonna want to take him down, right? So you don't think he's focusing more on his takedown, like getting his reads and okay, this guy's gonna shoot here, he's gonna do this, right? I think he's gonna be more focused on okay, this guy's gonna look to take me down. I'm gonna have to defend the takedown. If I can defend the takedown well enough and line him up on the feet, I'm gonna be good. This guy's not a Kevin Vallejos where he's gonna be able to, hit me as hard as Kevin Vallejos did. So I'm gonna go with Danny Silva, man.
To see. I mean, I'm gonna go with Campbell. I mean, look, I like the kid. The kid, the Puma, good. Like I think it's like look, Silva's no joke. I think Silva that was actually a closer fight than what many think it was. Like he held his own against Vallejos, but the one of the reasons why it was kind of competitive. It's because of the boxing background. Now this cat has a like I said, a grappling arsenal. Sorry. So that's what if I'm the Pink Panther, I'm throwing the arsenal. I ain't here to jab or teach you I got better striking than you. I'm gonna take you down. I'm gonna rob you, get in your face, make it ugly, maybe catch a jab, maybe catch a cross, because that's the only thing. That's the only thing that I would say that if I'm Campbell, be very careful how you approach Silva, especially when you have like a boxing background like Silva does. He has good, clean boxing. I am going Campbell though. I think the pressure will be there, but let's see if he breaks 8 fights. Um,
What happened? What happened to fading to contender series guys, bro?
I don't know, bro.
I looked at the record real quick. What happened to fading the contender series guys, bro? It's favorites, bro. What are we doing?
But there's a hunch. But listen, like this is 50-50 to my odds. Like if
Yeah,
Silva has fought the top for compass, like just by having that loss against Vallejos and like going the distance, it's you can bet your ass Campbell ain't knocking this guy out. That's the first thing. So then what is it? It has to be the grappling. It has to be that he's going to smother him with the grappling. So I'm curious to see Campbell's gas tank and his resilience when it comes to takedowns. And yeah, I think those two things, takedown, because you're not going to hold the guy like Silva down. He's going to try to get back up.
yeah,
So
yeah. I
that
like
means
Danny Silva here as a dog.
yeah, I like Danny Silva too, but I like Vallejo's better. Sorry, Campbell better. Minus 175 fight is closer. You got to give him a little bit more respect. I'm not betting on this fight, but I will go with Campbell.
Right on. We'll move on here to a middleweight bout. We have my boy Roman Dolidze coming back after being humiliated, sunned by Anthony Hernandez, where he got guillotined and it was a guillotine and then he got tossed. What was it? Well, I forgot how that fight. Yeah, he guillotined him and then tossed him. Right. Anyways, he was submitted last time out by Anthony Hernandez. He's going up against CLD Christian Leroy Duncan, who KO'd Marco Tulio last time out. Now, I'm gonna make it short. I think CLD has had all the momentum on his side, right? Like ever since he lost to Gregory Rodriguez, right? Gregory Rodriguez in that fight turned to the grappling. He brought out the jiu-jitsu. He brought out the grappling, right? And he won that fight. But after that loss, he fought up against Andre Pulyaev. And if you don't remember, Andre Pulyaev went to a decision with Atiba Gautier, the Francis Ngannou, the middleweight division, right? So Atiba Puliev's striking is really good, right? His boxing and his striking is really good, and he could take a punch. He beat him via unanimous decision. He came back, he KO'd Eric Anders, and then he KO'd Marco Tulio. Whereas Roman Dolidze lost to Anthony Hernandez. He beat Marvin Vettori, but Marvin Vettori hasn't won a fight in how long, right? He hasn't looked good in a while since he came back. He beat Kevin Holland. This is at middleweight. This is in welterweight, Kevin Holland. And then he beat Anthony Smith, come on. Anthony Smith, bro. He's over there fighting demons. He's fighting the fans in the audience. What are we doing? Anyways, Christian Leroy Duncan is well-rounded. He's got good striking. He's fast. He has decent grappling. He has good technique, good fight IQ, and finishing ability. I judged him against Andre Pulyaev because I felt like he was hesitant, but then I got to see how good Pulyaev was good, so I understood why that fight was the way it was. And then he came back and knocked out his next two opponents. Is there a world where Dolidze comes out, gets his grappling going? Because we have talked about the leads in the past, right? He's a Georgian wrestling champion. His cardio is good, uh, but his striking is where I worry, right? Like against Marvin Vittori, he's able to take shots, but his striking isn't the best, right? He kind of throws those those winging punches, those
Let me
straight.
interrupt you. Sorry, very quickly, but that's not even the Martin Vittori that fight, is he? This Martin Vittori is not like this is where
Yeah.
I
Well, he
used to
came back with the
like
shoulder injury. It was a shoulder injury. Yeah.
the
It was a different
Vittori.
Marvin. Yeah, Vittori. It was a
Yeah,
different Marvin.
he hasn't been the same fighter, and he fought what is it? He fought this guy. He fought Ferreira. We saw what happened with Ferreira. Like I don't think he's the person that fought Roman. The issue with Roman is sorry, I'll let you continue, then I'll break down what I think
No,
about Roman.
I'm going with Leroy Duncan. I think Leroy Duncan is just gonna light him up on the feet, stay on the outside, not let Roman really get going with the grappling. Now, if Roman does come in like Roman from 2, 3 years ago, right? Um, Roman Roman's an interesting guy because he does well against grapplers, but then against Anthony Hernandez, he kind of just fluffed it, right? He kind of just fucked. Like, what are we doing? We were expecting scrambles, we were expecting this and that, and you just got totally dominated. But yeah, deletes his strike. I think Duncan on the striking realm, he's probably has the advantage. He's probably the better striker of the two. Whereas Delica does have power, but his striking combination, his technique isn't the best. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna go with CLD, man. I think CLD gets it done.
And he's looked wonderful in his last couple of performances. That loss coming from RoboCop. The
Yeah,
dude, RoboCop is RoboCop. I mean, Robo. Who could have thought that RoboCop was gonna knock off Ferreira? Come on, dog. Like these buddy beat him back in the day, dude. The opposition matters to an extent. Um, the issue with Roman is very stuck in the mud. The thing is, Roman, like you look at a guy like Chris, CLD has very good footwork, very good in and out. He's added more unorthodox methods, like the spinning kick that he landed against. I think it was Anders and knocked him out. The spinning elbow, like this is a good guy. So what do I see? Establish the jab, use your footwork. And I said Roman has horrific footwork, brother.
yeah, he's
Unless
flat footed. It's like
very flat footed. Like it's just that's the only thing. That's why I pick against Vittori. Holland just is low IQ when it comes to these middleweight fighters. He doesn't know how to fight at middleweight. It's just a different
he
fight.
said those guys are too big, man, and then Delete said he hurt himself in that fight too. He hurt his rib. That's the
Yeah.
fight where he took him down. He hurt his rib, and then I think did he submit him? I don't know.
No, it
How
was
did
a
he?
rib injury. It was
Yeah, he KO'd him.
stop
Yeah,
the
he KO'd
fight.
him.
Stop the fight.
So we're both going with you're gonna go with CLD.
Yes, sir. I'm going with CLD. Lockdown.
Right on. We're both going with CLD to get it done against Roman Flatfoot Delice. But don't be surprised if he comes out and says, "You know what? I'm gonna grapple. I'm gonna do what I should have done against Anthony Hernandez." You know what's funny, man? Like sometimes these fighters they fight their next fight and they do the exact thing they were supposed to do. Like I think someone broke it down to me beautifully about Charles Oliveira. They said Charles Oliveira fought for the UFC lightweight championship like a BMF coming forward trying to strike, and then he fought the BMF felt like he was fighting for the championship, right? He came in, grappled, did what he was supposed to do against Topuria, right? So it could be that he comes in and he just grapples and he gets it done, but I think CLD is gonna get it done, man. Do you agree with that? How Charles Oliveira switched up? He should have fought. He should have fought how he fought Max Topuria. Use that range.
Brother, listen, we don't talk about that, brother. My man broke the rule. The contract stipulated no grappling. You know what it was? It should have been translated into Brazil into Portuguese, bro.
Yeah,
That's what it was, bro.
that was a hot topic. Everybody's like, "Oh,
Can you imagine?
casuals. You guys want striking? Go watch boxing, bro." The irony is, you casuals don't know what the BMF belt stands for, why it was created, or look at the issue was they put a grappler in the BMF for the BMF, right? Because
Dude.
primarily it's been strikers, right? It's
Well,
been
and we know that Charles could strike, but brother, when you have
he was winning on the feet too. He had some exchanges where he was tagging him.
bro, like once he used that grappling, that was it, bro. Like because then you gotta like worry and you gotta like do all this different
And you
stuff.
want to talk about weight bully, man? He looked way bigger than
Oh,
Max in that
he's a
fight. He
170
looked
pound.
he's a one set. Every time I watch him fight, I'm like, this dude is fucking huge, bro. Look at that back, bro. Look at this huge coming forward. But anyways, we'll move on to our next bout. We have an individual dropping down from heavyweight to light heavyweight. You know, he got the Nico Price call. They said, "Listen, brother, we need some highlights. How you doing? Hope everything is well. Hope the dieting is going great. But we need to put you up against Sacrificial Lamb, up against Iwo Baranowski." Now, if you remember Iwo Baranowski last time out, he had a war, one of the best fights, I think, against Ibo Aslan, right? It was a back and forth fight. He KO'd him. Whereas Austin Lane last time out lost to Vitor Petrino via submission. Baranowski is well rounded. He hasn't had his grappling tested too much. He's coming off his UFC war against Ebo, where he got the KO, as I mentioned. And then prior to that, he got the KO victory to Muhammad Ali on the Dana White Contender Series. He's had a mixed amount of regional wins, finishing guys by sub or KO. So he is well rounded. He is dangerous. He is explosive. He's going up against Austin Lane, who is a former NFL defensive end turned into an MMA fighter. We always talk about how athletic he is and how much raw power he has. And obviously, the highlight of his career was when he took down Robeles de Spain, right? Because Robeles de Spain was this Taekwondo wizard that everybody was scared of, that he was supposed to be the next big thing in the heavyweight division. And then he showed, listen, brother, we could take him down. We can grapple this cat. It's easy. It's easy. And then after that, he was an underdog pick for your boy, floor price guy. Wrong. He was an underdog pick against Victor Petrino.
Pinto.
Wrong, right?
He had
But
a good
anyway,
round. He had a good first round against Pinto.
yeah, he had a couple good first rounds. He had a couple good first rounds. But anyways, I think this fight is just designed to put Ewo further up, right? I mean, dropping it's not a good sign when you're 38 years old dropping down in weight, right? Like we saw that with Jack Hermanson. When he dropped down in weight, what happened? He got fucking I think he got knocked out into the next orbit or submitted. I forgot what it was. But anyways, I'm gonna go with Ewo to get it done here. I'm gonna make it short.
Yeah, and I mean, look, what is like, dude, this guy, this evil guy, bro. You know what he did, bro? He went against the fight with Ito as Aslan and said, you know what? The only opportunity you got beating me is if you brawl with me. And I'm gonna brawl because I don't get care, bro. And these boys started brawling. And them odds, bro, started going crazy. But and remember I told you this, Evil was gonna go back to his hard-headed way, and it was gonna go in there and brawl. And this guy obliged. I just think out of the two, this guy has a good chin. Both of them were rocked. I mean, if I'm Austin Lane, I'd be very careful because Austin Lane, his chin is not the greatest. And we've seen it in his countless UFC fights.
Bro, he's also losing. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but he's also dropping 40 pounds, 50. I don't know how much. How much does he weigh normally? He has to be over 245, right? So yeah, he's 245. So he's dropping 40 pounds, bro. So what is he gonna sacrifice? Is he sacrificing power, speed?
Well, we could ask Cody Garbrandt that question, right? When he went down
Exactly.
to what do you call it? My boy won. I remember Cody won. Not the greatest fight, but he won. He said I think your conditionings, the water, the brain function is not the same. Like you said, what you're sacrificing. I think he probably dieted up to 220 because these guys have like good amount of fat in them.
Yeah.
Probably since when? Let me see. Let me guess. 8 months ago, hop on a diet, losing maybe 5 pounds every month, or 2.5. Let's say 2.5, which is very healthy. And then the last month, boys, we got to cut it. No more cheeseburgers, no more this, and just started dieting. I mean, dude, give it to Evo, bro. Evo's been looking
Yeah.
amazing.
And if Austin Lane's getting starched at heavyweight, you can only imagine his chin's gonna be weaker at light heavyweight.
It's especially with these guys, like, because Evo could also go up in weight, right? Like
Yeah.
the thing is, he's like, what does he come in at that night? Maybe 230.
Well, he is giving up 6 inches of height and then 7 inches of reach, so he's gonna have to get in close.
But he's more of a grappler at this point.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. He's more of a grappler. Yeah, I mean, look, and also if his grappling was like amazing level, but like it's not the like, look, against this win, his only win lost Robelis. Robelli's is a white belt on the ground. He should have gone for that submission, but the fact is, like, he's good at holding fighters down, which is very like holding a white belt, blue belt down on the ground. Versus, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with Evo, man. He was gonna
We're
piece this
both
guy
going
up.
with Ewo. We're both
Look,
going with Ewo to get it
look for
done
the knockout prop here too. I think the knockout prop is warranted.
inside the distance. I think inside the distance because you don't know, man. He might try to get the sub because he can get subs, and KOs. So
You're right. You might not be
inside the
wrong.
distance. Next up, we have a fight that I think everybody is pretty unanimously picking Michael Venom Page up against Sam Patterson, but I don't know. Michael Venom Page last time out beat Jared Cannonier via unanimous decision. Patterson last time out KO'd Trey Waters. This is what everybody's gonna tell you. If you go watch any other YouTube channel, they're all gonna say Michael MVP is unpredictable on the feet. His in and out movement's great. No one's able to beat him on the feet. He's gonna be the way better striker in this fight. And I agree. He's a way better striker in this fight. And then they're going to discredit Sam Patterson because they got KO'd by Yanel Ashmush in his UFC debut. But that was at 155. He was light. He's looked a lot better at 170, in my opinion. He beat Yuhan Lanesi. He beat Kiefer Crosby via submission. He beat Danny Barlow, who was supposed to knock him out. He KO'd him because he was counter-striking really well. And then he beat Trey Waters via KO as well. And an interesting thing about this fight is, we all know MVP. We all know what he brings, right? He has that karate base, that solid movement. His hands are low, right? He moves in and out really well. He's unpredictable. People aren't really able to figure him out. The only person who kind of switched it up mid-game was Ian Machado Gary because he wasn't having success on the feet, right? He took him down. He utilized the grappling, and that's what won him that fight. I think Cannonier tried to do that. He was unable to really excel in that regard. The interesting thing about this fight is that these guys are training partners. So I see this fight going one of two ways. The training partners that, they agree like, hey, let's just go the distance, let's get this paycheck and we'll move on, right? But it's also one of those things where
Why did they take this fight? Like, what was the
I don't
purpose?
know why Michael Venom Page was mad about this fight. He's like, I've only fought top 5 guys. So he was really mad about this fight, but I think, they're both from the UK. I don't know. Maybe the UFC sees something in Sam Patterson, and I think Sam Patterson does have a route to victory here because his submission game and his grappling is really good, right? So if he's able to take Michael Venom Page down, look for something, work for something, because Michael Venom Page talks about how they train and how this guy has really nice arm triangles and anaconda chokes, and like his grip is really strong. Like he really highly touts his submission game. And they're both 6'3". They both have the similar reach. Obviously, on the feet, Michael Venom Page is going to have the advantage. And if Patterson fights him like how he fought, what's this guy, Danny Barlow, right? Counter striking really well, but I think his advantage is going to be on the feet. So I'm going to go with Sam Patterson. I'm going to go with the dog, man. I know everyone's going to be high on Michael Venom Page, but I'm going with the dog. There's a reason. There's a reason this fight's taking place, and there's a reason why he's upset about this fight.
Yeah, because it's a teammate. Because so, and I mean, look,
ex-teammate. They train together. Yeah.
3 months ago, 1 year ago, that does matter though. I mean, the reality is like Michael Venom Page has fought nothing but top opposition. Like the Kevin Holland fight, your boy called it, right? Your boy. Ian, the Gary's a top 5 fighter. Like
he's a smart fighter, yeah.
He's a smart fighter. Sharo Magomedov. Now, I think I mean, he just wants to fight in the UK at this point. That's why he took this fight. Maybe they're like, you want to.
And then also, like, he fought at welterweight. He fought at middleweight, and I thought he was gonna move up to middleweight. So now, why is he back at welterweight?
He's smaller though in those divisions. Like the thing is, he has the quickness.
I know, but when he went up to middleweight, he made it seem like he was gonna stay at middleweight because there was nothing for him at welterweight.
He always said it. He always said it that he. The thing is, he can make a run at. Well, what are we talking about? Wasn't this guy usually fought his Bellator career at middleweight, if I'm not mistaken? No,
I know, but what I'm saying is he's fought at welterweight, and then he fought Jared Cannonier at middleweight, and I thought he was gonna stay at middleweight. So I don't know why he's coming back. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I understand. I completely understand. No, this guy. No. Okay, so he did fight at welterweight in Bellator. I'm wrong. Fought at welterweight.
But what I'm saying is, I don't know why he jumped up to fight Cannonier and then dropped back down. Doesn't make sense to me. I thought he was gonna stay. because he talked about how there's not a lot of opportunity for him at middleweight, at welterweight. So I don't know why he's back down at welterweight.
Probably just to take a fight in the home country. You know, you never know. At
It's
38
just
years
weird.
old, you're reaching the. I mean, look, the 10-year advantage is quite significant, but it's just the genes don't lie, brother. The genes don't lie. I mean, Sam Patterson, fuck, man. I just think the quickness is going to be too much. Unless we know, like you said, like I'm gonna go with Venom Page. I'm not betting on this fight. I'm purely gonna enjoy it. But I expect a master class of speed. I expect them in the second, third round, maybe to get a little bit tired. Maybe Patterson can press a little bit. Let's see. I mean, look, Patterson has a shot to make a name off his former training partner. Does he get it done?
I don't
We'll
know.
find
I'm
out, but I
saying
don't think so.
it hasn't happened until it does, right? You don't get subbed until you do. You
And
know.
also, you got a lightweight coming from a welterweight and a middleweight coming from a
Nah,
welterweight.
he was trying to be a weight bully, bro. He's a welterweight. He's way better welterweight. This guy's same height, bro. Imagine being your height, bro, and trying to make 150, 170, bro.
I know, but you know, Page can't make 155.
That's
Page will not.
that's
Page,
crazy. That's crazy. That height. These guys are, bro. I was listening to the Dustin Poirier and Joe Rogan podcast, and they talk about like Dustin was like, man, they need more weight classes because if they had 165, I would have jumped in at 165, right? I can't do 170 because I trained with 170 fighters, and those guys walk around at 220, bro. And it's
yeah.
just a bunch of weight bullies, man. All these divisions have weight bullies. But anyways, we'll move on to our co-main event. Luke Riley taking on Michael Aswell Jr. Luke Riley last time out made his UFC debut against Bogdan Grad, where he won via KO. And he was taken down in that fight, right? And that's the key to beating Luke Riley. Michael Aswell Jr. beat Lucas Almeida, who looked like he had a sock and bopper. Remember, his hand was broken. He had a sock and bopper hand, that left or that right hand or left. I forget which hand it was. It was broken, and he beat him via KO. And we haven't really got to see how good Aswell Jr. can be in the UFC, because if you look at his UFC debut, he fought Balaji on short notice, right?
Yeah.
He fought him on short notice. He came in, he looked good. He was throwing with volume, he was throwing precise strikes, but he ultimately lost via unanimous decision. And then on the Contender Series, he lost to Bogdan Grad via split decision. I know MMA math doesn't work, but we're not going to use that here. And then he beat Lucas Almeida via KO TKO punches, but that was compromise. That was a compromised Lucas Almeida. He had that broken hand, so we don't know how good Michael Aswell Jr. really is, right? But what we do know about him is that he likes to move forward. He throws with volumes throughout all 3 rounds. He has good cardio. Um, he has good cardio and good boxing and good pace. And he also is a training partner, I believe, of is he the training partner of Joshua Van? I think so, right?
Axel?
Does he train with Joshua Van? I think he trains with Joshua
Well,
Van,
Luke
if I'm not
Riley?
mistaken. Yeah, no, the other cat.
Good question. I mean, like I know that the other
I
cat
think he
trains
I
with.
think he does, if I'm not mistaken, because I think isn't he the one that asked to be on the card?
Yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, he leaked the Joshua Van title fight. Remember in the post fight interview? Anyways, he's going up against Luke Riley. Luke Riley, he throws those looping hooks. He throws really good strikes with a lot of power. He's a striker first. He's very fast, very flashy. He has been rocked before. He has been taken down and controlled in the past. His takedown defense isn't the best. It's okay. I still am skeptical about Luke Riley when he faces tougher competitions, like people who can grapple and strike, right? Like he's going to have a disadvantage. But I think here, this is a good fight for him. I think Michael Aswell Jr. is a good matchup for him. Are we going to see Michael Aswell Jr. grapple? That's something we haven't really seen of him, so that could be a game plan. But I think he's just going to come forward, fight how he normally fights, push the pace, and then Luke Riley is going to, have that advantage with the power, right? He's going to have that advantage with the power, be able to hit Michael Aswell Jr. I think this is a good fight for Luke Riley. I think Luke Riley gets it done.
Yeah, I think Luke gets it done too. I think it's going to be an interesting combination. Lucas Almeida did not look like very good in that fight. We saw that fight. He
He
looked.
had the
Remember?
broken hand, bro. But he was I think he was a favorite up until he broke his hand or something like that, and the odds flipped. You don't remember that when he broke his hand? Remember at the
Yeah,
weigh-ins, his hand was huge.
I remember it. But like, yeah, I'm gonna go right away with Luke Riley. I think Luke Riley got something special in this kid if he's able to continue and get these guys out.
I
I
would be
think that's
surprised though. I would be surprised and impressed if Aswell comes in with the grapple heavy plan, right, and kind of just stuns Luke Riley and stuns the crowd.
nah.
But
But
I think
at
Luke
this point,
Riley
like, I
too
mean,
powerful.
you know, like if your boxing is that good for years, you know that other guys are gonna try to take you down, and shame on you, especially having Paddy Pimblett as one of his main training partners, right? Next generation MMA liver. Like I'm pretty sure Paddy's there. So if like I think Paddy helped him prepare, and like if you tell me who's a better grappler, I'm going to tell you right now that Paddy Pimblett is. So
Yeah.
help your guy out, which he probably did. Fine tuned them. Well, we're going to find out. The only issue is the speed. Michael is to me quicker than Paddy. So let's see how that kind of comes into fruition.
Right on. We're both going with Luke Wright to get it done in his hometown in the co-main event. Now we have our main event. Movsar Evloev taking on Lerone Murphy in a 5-round bout to determine who is the number one contender in the featherweight division. Evloev last time out beat Aljamain Sterling via unanimous decision, whereas Murphy last time out beat the highly touted debutant Aaron Pico via KO, via that spinning elbow, where he was the underdog in that fight. And who do you think gave you that, Lerone Murphy KO prop, the Lerone Murphy money line prop? Your boys right here. What are we doing? What are we talking about, man? We know how to pick these dogs sometimes, not all the time. Can't be too cocky. Sometimes we're wrong. Sometimes we've been wrong, man.
They really had a. I forget. We both picked Lerone Murphy, but did they really have Pico as the favorite?
They had Pico as the favorite because Pico was supposed to be this wrestler. He was supposed to be what Patchy Mix was. Come in, grapple. He's aggressive. He moves forward. He can finish. Lerone Murphy can't handle pressure. He can't handle when people come forward. Boom, knocked them out. Anyways, yeah. Murphy is a solid striker. He throws nice combinations. He has good footwork and moves laterally. He can scramble on the ground and bring the fight back up to his feet if taken down. He does get taken down, right? Questions about his chin have been brought up because Dan Ige dropped him, but it's held up since. He's fought a lot smarter, cautious, great game plan. Against Josh Emmett, right? He fought a good game plan. He was on the outside. He was moving. He was fighting. He was point fighting in that fight. A lot of people criticize that fight, but he was point fighting because he had just come off the Dan Ige fight, right? So he was a bit hesitant to put himself in those positions, right? And I think in that Josh Emmett fight, when we were breaking it down, everybody was talking about Dan Ige dropped him. Josh Emmett's going to destroy him, but he fought a smarter fight, right? And I think that's what we've come to know about Lerone Murphy. He's a smart fighter. Evloev, who is undefeated last time out, was successful in taking down Aljamain Sterling 4 or 5 times and controlling him for 6 minutes. There were some good scrambles in that fight. The key difference in that fight for the two were the total strikes. He outstruck Sterling by almost 3 times, right? Sterling had 60 total strikes, whereas he had 160 total strikes. He's a pressure grappler. He looks to take you down, control you, and get to work. This fight's interesting to me, man, because I do think Lerone Murphy's a better overall fighter, right? He's a better overall fighter, but I think Evloev excels at one thing, right? And that's the grappling. You get me? And then it's kind of hard, man. Like you look at Lerone Murphy against what's this cat's name? Who's that cat's name that took him down a bunch of times? What's his name?
Lerone Murphy?
Yeah, it's a cat. It's a Brazilian cat that he fought. Gabriel Santos. If you look at the Gabriel Santos fight, he won via split decision, but Gabriel Santos was able to take him down and kind of ragdoll him. He's able to get up to his feet, and I don't know if against
how long ago was that? Was that 4 years?
That was I just looked it up. Hold on, that was 2023. So that was 2 years ago, right? He could have gotten a lot better, right? And I think for this fight, he's actually preparing for someone who's just gonna grapple, right? Because on the feet, I think Murphy's gonna be the better striker of the two, right? He has better footwork, he has better boxing. He has really good get-up game, and I think this fight's going to be really interesting to bet live, right? Because if Lerone Murphy's able to get up from Evloev's, takedowns, right? Or we're able to sprawl a couple times, we're able to just get up immediately. It's going to be interesting on the feet, and I just think Evloev's pressure, his control, his grappling it's going to overwhelm Lerone, and kind of like what we saw against Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira, right? Like Charles Oliveira had him moving backwards where he was able to get him to the octagon side and then just take him down, right? Lift him up, take him down. And I kind of feel like we're going to see the same thing here. I'm not going to bet on this fight. I'm going to be rooting for Murphy, but I think Evloev takes it.
It's been a while, brother. Last time I actually saw him fight live in, I think it was Toronto against Brendan Allen. And Aljamain Sterling. My apologies. I fought a year and a half ago. Apparently nobody wants to fight this guy. Aljo went on ahead, and Aljo had a very close fight. Like that fight was close. You can't debate it wasn't. But it was also former champion Aljo, right? So that tells you that Masvidal is good. Um, and I mean, look, Lerone Murphy has come to his own, right? The Pico knockout, the Emmett decision, and like, sure, like you didn't knock out Emmett, but fuck,
That
like
was a smart fight. I love that fight. That was a very
yes,
smart fight.
he kind of fought him in a way where he neglected the right hand. He circled away. That's what he should do. The Dan Egan fight. Remember, Dan Egan kind of caught him in the. I think it was the first round. Put him down a little bit. Murphy kind of scrambled, got his wits about, and I remember putting a live bet on this fight, and it was pretty good.
Eh,
I'm gonna go with Murphy.
you gonna
I'm
go
gonna.
Murphy?
I think Murphy is the pick. Murphy does get it done.
No, I'm not mad at it. I think Murphy is, like I said, he's a better rounded, well-rounded fighter. The thing is though, like the positions that Masvidal had Aljamain in, I think he's submitting Murphy in those positions, bro. Like because Aljamain's a good grappler, right? For like you said, former champ, good grappler, and he had him in a bunch of positions where if that was anybody else, they would have been submitted or tapped. You get me?
Yeah.
But anyways, I think yeah, I'm going. We're both on different ends here. I'm not mad at it. Like I said, I'm rooting for Murphy, but I'm gonna have to go with Evloev.
Yeah, and like again, I can't fault you on this, but like, fuck, every fighter has a shot, eh? Let's see. My boy hasn't fought in a while, and again, he's an American top team fighter, so yeah, let's figure it out. But this is a fight to watch, man.
It's gonna be a good fight, man. What's the start time for this fight?
Where are they in the UK?
Yeah. What
See
time is it
here.
at?
See, let me see. Start time is 1 p.m. Eastern time.
So it's gonna be early. So you might have to hold it down. I might be sleep.
Yeah,
But
I won't be around for the first two, but I'll be around.
Lerone Murphy, I want to say Lerone Murphy's a tough cat, man. Like, did you ever hear him talking about how he got shot in the face, in the neck when he was 20 years old?
What are we doing over here, dog? Really?
Did you hear about that? My boy's like 50 Cent, bro. He got shot. Did you hear about that or not?
That's crazy.
He got shot in the face and the neck at 21 years old. He was standing outside a barbershop, bro, and he was struck by two bullets. One hit his cheek, and the other one hit it exited his neck. That's
Really?
crazy, huh? This is a tough cat, bro. You know what? I'm going with Lerone Murphy, bro. This dude got shot in the face, bro. You think Evlo's gonna come in and give him something that he hasn't given, bro? What
He's
are we
gonna give
doing, bro?
bro. My boy caved in, didn't he? My boy said, "You know what?"
Oh man, not a lot of people know about that. Not a lot of people talk about that. He got shot in the face, bro. He's got a tough cat.
And then came back. My boy came
Listen,
back.
listen, bro. The man them are gonna be on him, bro. He's got to represent his country, bro. You think he's gonna lose in his country? It's a tough fight, bro.
It is a tough fight. Like, let's see,
Who would
bro.
you rather see face off against Volkanovski?
Lerone.
I would
Lerone
rather
Murphy.
see Lerone.
I
'Cause
remember the
I
come
think
up.
I think
So what?
Evloev and Volkanovski would be a boring main event because you kind of know what to expect. Right? They're both going to scramble, right? The scramble is going to be nice for Volkanovski to see him actually wrestle because he hasn't wrestled in a while, right? Like the last time we saw was against Makachev, right? When he kind of grappled. But yeah, I think the Murphy fight would be better.
Yeah, and the thing is, you get more diversity. You get another potential England cat, making his way into the ranks. I'm sorry, becoming champion, which is again, like I said, like England's predominantly known for being a fight country, right?
Yeah,
Um, Evloev is just, I mean, Evloev has surprised me though. You can't deny the fact that Evloev has shown up, and
bro, he did 1,000 push-ups in one day, bro. What are we doing, bro?
damn, bro. I heard
You
my
see
boy
that?
was
You see that tweet everybody puts out? You did 1,000 push-ups in one day. It's cool, brother.
bro was probably sore for a couple days, huh?
Probably. How many push-ups can you do in one go, bro, without getting tired? Be honest.
I'm 30, bro. I'm at 30. Your boy's
You're at
at
30?
30.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Your boy was at 30. No, 30 is not that bad. You go,
How many burpees could you do? How many burpees could you do?
we don't do burpees, dog.
You haven't done burpees? Oh, burpees are great, bro. Great functional body workout.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm looking to lose weight, I'm doing burpees. I do a bunch of burpees, bro. Take it easy.
I love burpees, bro. Burpees are great. What's your 40, bro? How fast is your 40?
My four's a 40.
40-yard dash, bro. How fast is your 40-yard run, bro?
Oh, dude, I'm Canadian here, bro. We got poutine, bro. We don't got no 40 dash, bro. Relax, relax.
What about your squats? How's your squats looking?
I'm a two plate and a half, 3 play guy.
My guy. There we go. All
Yeah,
right, y'all. That's it. That's our full card breakdown. Make sure you follow us, show some love. We will put this out immediately, followed by our picks, and then we will put out our bets by tomorrow after the weigh-ins, as we always do, because sometimes the weigh-ins tell a lot, right? You might make
yeah,
some last minute bets, some last minute wagers, because somebody might look a little too weak, a little too scared. Somebody might
exactly.
not even make weight. Some fights might be. I'm tired of making bets early and the fight being canceled and getting refunded, bro.
Yeah, that
That happens a lot. Or having someone in a parlay that gets canceled and now it's just a straight up and you didn't really want to bet that straight up because the odds aren't good and you only make like $6, but whatever. Anyways, love what you love, do what you do. As always, any parting words, my guy?
yeah, gonna be
All
a
right.
good fight night.
Peace.